Hello everyone and welcome back. Here I am back again with another movie haul. This time I have a couple of Amazon pickups, Redbox, and America's Thrift Store. I am no longer going to be buying used movies at Goodwill. I recently bought a couple of movies from there. One of them, which was The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford. I'd never seen it before. I'd always heard about it. I'd seen clips of it, obviously, over the years. And I go through and I check all of my movies, skip through, make sure that they get all the way through before I add them into the collection. And The Fugitive, unfortunately, would get halfway through the movie and stop. It did that on my Xbox. It also did that on the Blu-ray player. So I was, annoyed about that. But I've bought plenty of movies from Goodwill and not had any issue with them not playing or whatever. And I always check the condition of the disc as well. But it didn't work. So I decided to take it back to Goodwill. Well, the Goodwill stores in Georgia, they do not accept any returns on electronics whatsoever, not even DVDs, not even if they don't work. And there was another one, I had bought Cloverfield, and come to find out I already owned it. I was going to try to take that one back too. That one I'm not so much worried about. That was my own fault. I rebought a movie that I already had. The other one, however, did not work. So I was annoyed about that, and so I'm no longer going to be buying from Goodwill now, used DVDs from Goodwill anymore, and just the, off chance that they don't work, and the fact that, it would be different if, like, with America's Thrift, they sell theirs for $1.50. Goodwill sells them for $3. So you buy one that doesn't work, the off chance, like, you're out $3. Yes, it's just $3, but it's also kind of the principle of the matter. You bought it, it did not work, you try to, return. And I just wanted to exchange. I just wanted to do an exchange for another movie. I didn't want my money back, but they don't do that. So we'll no longer be going to Goodwill for used movies. And all Goodwills are different. It seems like some of the Goodwill pages that I found when I was trying to look up their policy, other Goodwills around the United States are different. They have different policies. Some will accept them, some will not. Some, it has to be within 7 days, all that kind of stuff. So just a heads up for any of you that were thinking about trying Goodwill for used DVDs. Check the policy, the return policy, before you do so. Anyway, enough of that rant. Just, throwing that out there. And let's get to the movies. Like I said, we got Amazon, America's Thrift, and Redbox. So let's go ahead and start with the new movies. Actually, we'll start with the used movies first, and then we'll go to the new movies. I'll start with Redbox first. Redbox had a deal I wasn't even aware of, but I had gone to pick up this movie here, Bill and Ted Face the Music, $4. Yes, it's used, but it's Blu-ray, $4 for Bill and Ted Face the Music. When I've already got the previous movies, I've got Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on DVD. I've had those for years. I eventually would like to pick up the Blu-ray version, the Blu-rays of those, but I'm not sweating it too much. So $4 for Bill and Ted Face the Music. Really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think it lived up to the hype, and I don't think it holds a candle to the original movies. And I'm biased because I grew up with those movies and I watched them as many times as possible, every time that I would find them on the TV, because I didn't own them. But anytime they would be on TV, I'd watch them. But it was good. I enjoyed it. But enough to own it. Possibly, it's worth a rewatch. And there were some really good moments of it, some really good moments in it. But overall, it was good, but it did not live up to the hype. But when buying this, Redbox prompted me and said, "Hey, you want to add another? Like, you want to buy another movie, and for $2 off? Sure, let me look." So I looked, see what they had. They had another movie that was $4. Decided to grab, so I got it for like $2 and some change, and I wanted to buy this movie anyway. And that movie is Wonder Woman on Blu-ray. The first Wonder Woman, because the first one is awesome, so good. Another just a plain rental, I hate that, it's a rental copy, but whatever. Original Wonder Woman, I did not show. Bill and Ted's Face the Music. The first Wonder Woman was really good and surprised me a lot because I'm not a big DC fan, but I remember wanting to see it, being interested in it, and then my girlfriend, she had seen it before we started dating, so she said it was really good, I needed to watch it, so I ended up watching it. She rewatched it with me, and I really enjoyed it. As soon as it was over, I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. I think it's worth buying. We're not gonna get into talking about the sequel, 1984, because wow, that movie was so bad. The only saving grace for that movie was Pedro Pascal. He was great. I need a Pedro Pascal cut of that movie. It basically would just be all him. But so yeah, I ended up grabbing both of these, Bill and Ted Face the Music and Wonder Woman, on Blu-ray for only like $6 and some change. So pretty good pickups in my opinion there. Next up, we have a little haul, pretty decent haul from America's Thrift Store. America's Thrift Store I will continue to go to, because at any time I've had any issue, which again has been a rare occurrence, I've gone back and they have done an exchange for me. No questions asked, which I really appreciate. So I'll continue going back and seeing them. I was on the other side of town, which is where it is today, and I hadn't been there in a while. I think it was like right after Christmas, so in January. Hadn't been there in a while, decided to stop by since I was over there and see what they had, and they had a pretty good lot, I'd say. They had also gotten some movies in, because the selection was a lot bigger than it was back in January. They even had a couple of Blu-rays, which I was surprised about. None that I was interested in, but still. So we'll go ahead and get started with my pickups. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 of them. And I was able to check a couple of the wants off my list. And then some I just picked up because, I was like, wow, I found that. One of the first ones that I came across, and I was like, I picked it up and I was like, wow, can't believe they had this. It is Hulk Hogan in Mr. Nanny. I like Suburban Commando much better than Mr. Nanny, but I do, or I remember enjoying this movie. It's been quite some time since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it. Thinking his manager has found him a bodyguard job, former pro wrestler Sean Armstrong, played by Hulk Hogan, is horrified to learn he's been hired to watch over 2 nanny-hating kids. But even more dangerous than the kids' Home Alone-style booby traps is a top-secret peacekeeper ray gun invented by the kids' genius father. It's sheer household hilarity as the children and their behemoth babysitter team up to thwart the villain, save the world, and learn some heartwarming lessons about friendship. So yeah, it's it, like I said, I remember watching it, remember enjoying it. It's got Hulk Hogan in some really weird scenarios that you didn't see Hulk Hogan in. Hulk Hogan was larger than life, the big man, the 24-inch pythons and everything. But yeah, like there's a couple scenes there where he's having a little tea party. That one right there is pretty famous. So even if you haven't seen the movie, you've probably seen Hulk Hogan in the ballet get-up with the tutu and everything. So really cool to have stumbled across that one. Next up, a movie I'm surprised I did not own, and I love this movie, and I know that it's I feel like it's a love or hate kind of movie, and I think it's mainly because of the writer-director. That is M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, is it Rory Culkin? I think it's Rory Culkin, and little Abigail Breslin in there. Such a good movie. I remember seeing this, and especially the one scene at the video that they show on the news of the kid's birthday party, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That scene, I remember watching it for the first time, and when that came up, I'm like this close to the TV, like, waiting, and then boom, it's wow. But yeah, this movie is so good. From M. Night Shyamalan, the writer-director of The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, comes the story of the Hess family in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. One morning they wake up to find a 500-foot crop circle in their backyard. Graham Hess, played by Mel Gibson, and his family are told extraterrestrials are responsible for the sign in their field. They watch the news as crop circles are soon found all over the world. Signs is an emotional story of one family on one farm as they encounter the possibility the world is being invaded. This is a really good movie. I wouldn't say that I'm big on like alien invasion type movies, but this movie is definitely the exception. It's I don't know, this movie and The Sixth Sense made me really, really like M. Night Shyamalan, and I also like The Village as well. I like quite a few of his movies. I'm an M. Night Shyamalan fan. I know that there are a lot of haters of him, and basically just won't watch any of his movies, and that's fine. I really enjoy him, though. I really enjoy his work. Love that movie. And The Sixth Sense. Those are two really, really good movies. Sixth Sense I do own already, but now I also own Signs. So now I just need to pick up The Village, because I love that movie as well. Alright, next up, switching from like a thriller type movie to a comedy. This movie I actually had once upon a time, and when me and my girlfriend at the time broke up, we had a movie collection that we had, had acquired while we were dating, and had to split it up, and this is one of the ones that went with her, and that is Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore in Duplex. This movie is very underrated, in my opinion. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. I don't really see it come up on streaming services or anything like that. I really enjoy this, and I also realized that I forgot to show the disc for Signs, which is obviously the case is the little things in upside down. But yeah, it's something pretty cool. Apparently it was from Theater Time Video. Because I'm thinking about the show, and make sure you show the disc. Make sure you show the disc. But yeah, Duplex, don't really see this come up on streaming services. I don't really see or hear people talk about it much, much or anything or at all. Especially when talking about Ben Stiller, most of the time you hear about like Zoolander. That's one of the main ones you hear about. I really liked this movie. I really liked the the duo of Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore. But this is a pretty good movie. I remember really enjoying it and wanting to add it back to my collection. So it says, skip all that, young and vibrant New Yorkers Alex and Nancy, which are played by Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore, have just found the perfect place to settle down and share a bright future. But their new home comes with a permanent fixture they did not expect. An obnoxious elderly tenant who won't move out and refuses to die. Pushed to the edge of insanity as their dream home turns into a nightmare, it's only a matter of time before Alex and Nancy begin to entertain some truly sinister solutions to their problem. So yeah, it's a really good movie. They obviously they find this home. They think it's the dream home. It's a duplex. There's an elderly tenant that lives upstairs, and she's a pain. And then hilarity ensues. And this is actually a double DVD. It's got full screen and widescreen versions of it, and it's just one of those, plain discs. So that's pretty cool. Widescreen and full screen back when that was a thing. And I remember back before I had a widescreen TV, I still had an old, box TV, or an older box TV. I guess it was a newer one at the time. I absolutely hated widescreen because anytime you get widescreen on a TV that's not meant for it, it just shrinks the screen down so you can't see. It made it harder to watch the movie. But things change. Today, actually, because a couple of times in some of my previous hauls of used DVDs, I've bought full screen versions of movies. And if it's something I really, really want or something that's like more hard to come by, it's whatever. At least I have it. But there are other ones that I know for a fact come full screen or widescreen, and some even that have been updated to Blu-ray. So today I made sure that I checked all of the movies that I bought and made sure that they were widescreen, or at least, had the option for widescreen. Next up, we have a movie that's, again, it's another one I don't really hear about. I know that I really enjoyed it when I was younger. I caught it on like HBO or Showmax quite a few times. It is starring Val Kilmer and Mira Sorvino. It is At First Sight. This, like I said, I enjoyed it when I was younger. I watched it quite a few times and I really liked it because I really liked Val Kilmer, especially after Batman Forever and The Island of Dr. Moreau. I really, really enjoyed Val Kilmer, so anytime that, a movie would come up or come on, or I would, come across it on HBO or something that was starring Val Kilmer, I would watch it. This is one of the ones that I stumbled across and ended up watching because of Val Kilmer. It also has Nathan Lane in it. Blind since childhood, Virgil Adamson, played by Kilmer, is working as a masseur. I don't know if I'm saying. I've heard that before, but I'm like questioning away. Masseuse. In an upstate New York spa, when he meets and falls in love with Amy, played by Sorvino, a stressed-out, career-driven architect. Certain that Virgil's simple world will greatly be enhanced by an operation to restore his sight, Amy ultimately realizes that Virgil's new vision puts a fresh focus on both their lives. Then on the back, you actually see Nathan Lane on there. So yeah, At First Sight, Val Kilmer and Mira Sorvino. Really good movie. Check it out if you get the chance. Okay, next up. Next up. So this is a double feature. One of the movies I actually already have, and I think I actually bought from America's Thrift. The other one, however, is another one that I wanted to add that was on my want list by the same actor, or the same actor stars in it. Really, really like this movie. Would really like to get it on Blu-ray. And again, I forgot to show the disc. No, it doesn't matter. It's plain, so who cares? Anyway, back to this. Another movie is on my want list. I really want it on Blu-ray, but looking up the Blu-ray prices online were ridiculous. So I went ahead and picked this up, $1.50, and so I got a movie I already have, but it's fine. I got the movie that I want, starring Robin Williams. We have Patch Adams and What Dreams May Come. Patch Adams is the one I already own. This is the one that I really wanted. I've seen it once or twice and really, really enjoyed it. It was another one of Robin Williams' more serious roles whenever he was kind of transitioning from being, not only a comedian but trying to be a serious actor. And it's great. It's really, really good. I'll tell you what it's about here. And this may be a little harder to watch now that Robin Williams is passed away. Now that I'm thinking about it, but still, it's a really, really good movie. Very visual, which is again why I wanted it on Blu-ray. It stars Robin. Why can't I say his name? Robin Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. It says deceased Chris Nielsen, played by Williams, begins to adapt to his new state of being in a setting that can only be described as heavenly. See why it might be more, for a Robin Williams fan, it may be more difficult to watch because of that. When his distraught wife Annie takes her own life, she is banished to eternal damnation. Chris vows to find her so they can share eternity together. With the help of his heavenly friends, Chris sets out for the most perilous and harrowing journey of his life or afterlife, a quest for everlasting love that will take him to hell and back. So, I don't remember exactly, but it's sort of, like almost like a retelling or inspired by like Dante's Inferno. It's about this man, other than the fact that he's dead, he's already dead. And then his wife takes her own life, and he goes after her, or tries to, goes to the place where she is to rescue her. So, sort of got that same sort of vibe. I remember really enjoying it and thinking it was great. The visuals were really cool. And, but like I said, I think it may be a little more difficult to watch now just because the fact that Robin Williams, the actual person, is dead, and the character he's playing is dead. It might be a little difficult. But yeah, we've got Patch Adams there. We got Patch Adams there. And then we got What Dreams May Come, which is basically just the cover, which is cool. Because again, if this is the first time you're watching my channel, watching any of my videos, I do not keep cases. I am not a case collector, which is weird to some people, but it started years ago because I would just take the disc and put them in like a CD binder, and so I already had, probably hundreds of DVDs like that. So I just continued that way. But yeah, so really, really happy to have What Dreams May Come in my collection now.